the scene of a suspicious house fire in Goodlettsville right now. Investigators believe the home on Greer Road may have been set on purpose. There are investigators on the scene looking into how the fire started. The home has been destroyed. A fight in East Nashville leads to gunshots and leaves a man in the hospital. Officers say the 33-year-old victim was shot in the torso after an ongoing feud with the shooter, meaning the victim and the shooter do know each other. And right now it's unclear if any charges will be filed. The victim has non-life-threatening injuries. Well, she's been on the run for more than a month, but now 20-year-old Demisha Clark is behind bars in connection with a deadly drive-by shooting in Antioch. Clark is accused of shooting and killing 21-year-old Johnny Broadnax at the Hickory Manor Apartments on May 14th. After being shot, Broadnax drove his SUV through the apartment complex building. He later died. Clark is charged with criminal homicide. 2 people died in a violent wreck in Dixon County over the weekend. Troopers tell us this pickup was headed east on I-40 when it veered off the road and hit a semi parked on the shoulder. 20-year-old Shelby Cox and 23-year-old Cameron Isabel were in the truck and both were killed. The cause of the crash is under investigation, but troopers told us it should have never happened in the first place.
Does anybody see on the shoulder? If you can move over, do move over.
Neither victim was wearing their seatbelt. Charges are pending. We've just gotten some new information about the Orlando shooter's motive. The FBI released some of the conversations between them and the gunman the night of the shooting that killed 49 people. They say Omar Mateen told the 911 operator he was an Islamic soldier and admitted to the massacre. The FBI reports he was radicalized domestically and was not directed by a foreign terror group. Meantime, there was a very touching moment last night in Orlando as thousands of people gathered to remember the victims of last week's mass shooting. A rainbow appeared over the vigil. The image has since been shared thousands of times on social media. It's estimated more than 50,000 people attended last night's vigil. Mourners packed Lake Eola Park with signs, flags, and candles. The names of all 49 victims were read as people chanted, "Peace, love, pulse." Funerals for the victims continued over the weekend. More than a dozen more services are scheduled this week. Today, the Tennessee Military Department is conducting one of the biggest disaster preparedness exercises in history. The exercise involves more than 50 Army and Air National Guard units training alongside local fire departments, paramedics, and law enforcement agencies. It's taking place on the powerhouse side of Old Hickory Dam in Hendersonville. And finally, the Cleveland Cavaliers are the NBA champions. LeBron James and the Cavs came back from a 3-1 deficit to defeat the Golden State Warriors 93-89 in Game 7. It's Cleveland's first major pro sports title since 1964. And congrats to our Kevin Brown, who's a big supporter.